Well, welcome everyone. My name is Mia Finnegan. This is my husband, Rich, and we're so blessed to be here tonight with you. Thank you so much for getting on to hear a little bit more about this incredible patch called the X39. We have been blessed beyond belief. 2.5 years now of wearing the patch, and I'll go ahead and show you kind of where I wear mine right here on my shoulder because my story is that I had a really nasty shoulder. I had all four rotator cuff tendonitis, biceps tendonitis, and a torn labrum. If you know what any of that is, it's just a lot of inflammation in my shoulder. It was extremely painful. And after 30 days of wearing the patch, my pain went from a 9 to a 5. And then there's no pain anymore now in my shoulder. And that was at the 60-day mark. And I knew at that point, I was like, okay, I had brain clarity. My sleep was better. And I'm going to show you some of that tonight in my slides. But it has been the biggest wellness breakthrough that my husband Rich and I have seen in all our 35 years of being in the fitness industry. And we just know that we need to share this with everybody. So we just feel blessed that you're on hearing a little bit more about it because you might hear something tonight that you're like, oh my gosh, I need to share that with my Aunt Sue. I need to share this with my friend Sally, my whoever. You're going to hear something tonight through these stories, through these testimonials that I know you'll love to share with people. So I would like, if you want to
Let's
go
go
ahead and
ahead. Let's roll with it, and then I'll share mine a little bit as we go.
so we're
Yep.
going to talk about the X39. We're going to talk
Yep.
about a little bit about the science, but behind it, the testimonials, and then how you get started. So we're going to go ahead and share screen and write questions along the way. And that's what I'm going to say for your own self. Write things down that was interesting. I want to ask about that at the end. So this is just kind of what we're doing tonight, how incredible this patch is and what it does from energy focus, mental clarity, restorative sleep and recovery, balance and well-being, healthy skin, hair and appearance. That's another thing that happened to me, and mobility, stamina, and active living. This is for people that are in the age group of 40 and older. Yes, can we put these on young kids? Yes, can we put these on children who might have some ailments? Yes, but we know our target market that we want to, share this with is people who are aging and have ailments, and that's how we came in. I needed the pain relief in my shoulder.
Mm.
I couldn't do stuff anymore. It hurt so bad, and now, we've been blessed. So, disclaimer: I just want you to know these patches, and I'm going to put it up here. These patches don't heal, treat, cure, mitigate any diseases. It doesn't just
Diagnose, yeah, diagnose,
diagnose,
treat, cure. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
mitigate anything. So, but the patch does help the body heal itself because that's the way God intended is how our bodies are meant to heal themselves.
Mm.
But this patch just gives us that little extra oomph to be able to do that.
Taps into our body's own mechanisms to heal.
Yeah.
We're just stimulating that, which is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
For produces results like this.
So these are some of the results. These are people who we know personally. Right here, this is my girlfriend Michelle. She had a tummy tuck years ago, and this was a 2.5-year-old scar when I put the patch on her. And you can just see the wound healing. This was after 27 days. Now it's just like a little line. This is her dad right here who had cancer. He's also, just so you know, he is a diabetic and he has heart disease. Diabetics don't heal very well. This was an 8-day post-cancer removal from his temple. And it's just absolutely incredible that he could heal that fast. This is my girlfriend Yvonne. She's a nurse practitioner. She uses the patches in her practice. Just so you know, this is normally a 10-day to 2-week turnaround. This was 3 days post laser burn. This is Michelle's dad. Again, 80 years old. He's 81 now. Massive edema in the ankles because he has heart disease and because his heart isn't strong enough to pump all that fluid out. This is 8 months after wearing the patches, and now he's been wearing them for over 2 years, and he'll never go back. He feels great. This is my girlfriend Shannon. Same thing. I reached out to her when I first started using the patches because I felt so good, and I just said to Shannon, I'm like, Shan, you know what? I'm like, just try them. Really, that's what I tell everybody. I'm like, you have a full money back guarantee. Just try them. And she literally got on them, and the rest is history. So this is a gentleman after 1 year of using the X39. One of the beautiful parts about this patch and this X39 is that it elevates what's called the GHK copper peptide in the body. And what that does is it's been used for years in hair restoration and and skin restoration for years. So you can see his hair not only has filled in more follicles, thickening, but look at the difference in color. Super gray to charcoal. And that's one of Rich's stories as well. My son was the one that noticed it on Rich. Right here, this is a 15-year-old wound that, again, this is a friend of mine's husband who just kept putting a band-aid on it. You can see even the band-aid marks, right? And then this is 6 weeks after using the X39. That wound now is almost completely closed. It is absolutely remarkable. This spoke to me in the beginning when I was kind of doing some research before I went to try it. I had 6 concussions as a college gymnast, so this brain balance. This means everything to me because if this is the only thing it ever did for me, I'm in. This is a 77-year-old woman with a lot of inflammation on the brain, and after 3 weeks, dramatic improvement in brain coherence, meaning the left and right hemispheres are speaking to each other, and then even more at the 6 week mark. And then this is my favorite one because sleep is everything. If you don't know much about sleep, you should do some research on sleep, how important it is. It is number one in fitness and wellness. If I can't have my clients get the right amount of sleep, they won't lose fat. They don't have energy. They're going to be dragging anchor. They just don't feel good. And after wearing the patch 1 month in, my sleep increased by 31%. And that's deep in REM. That's restorative sleep. 6% in the second month, increased 37% in the first 2 months. Deep in REM. Deep sleep is physical restoration, and REM sleep is brain function. So if we don't get enough sleep, so this patch has been even proven to help increase sleep, and sometimes in as easy as like 3 days. Now, there might be some of you on here tonight who are like, you know what? I've been wearing the patch for, or maybe you have, or you haven't even tried the patch yet. But if you have tried the patch and maybe your results haven't come as quick as maybe mine did, like within 30 days, keep wearing the patch. This is cellular regeneration. Okay. And it's done naturally. So you don't know what's happening in your body, but your body is going to heal the most inflamed part of your body first, and then it's going to go other places. So stick and stay. My girlfriend Jen always says 6 months to 12 months to really get the benefit. And David Schmidt says one of these sleeves for every decade old you are. So there's 30 patches in this sleeve. So one sleeve for every decade. So Rich and I right away were like, well, I need 5 months worth, and he needed 6 months because we're 50 and 60. So anyway, so we're going to move on. And this is one of the things that spoke to us really in the beginning. And this is so crazy because being in the fitness industry, I figure I should have known this. But at age 30, you've lost 30% of your peak youthful stem cell activity. All right. By age 60, you've lost 50 to 75%. Those are the healing cells of the body. And that's what this patch helps do. It helps, again, the GHK copper peptide raises, and it helps reactivate stem cell production. So the fewer your stem cells you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal. So what do we want to do? We want to increase that so we can recover faster because millions of people, are aging. Everybody on here is aging. We've been aging since the day we were born. So I'm going to go ahead and just show this to you. I'm going to share more as we go, but these are some of the things, the most common benefits of using the X39. Now, some of you on here might be like, there's no way it can do all this. Yes, like every single one of these I have experienced, especially performance and recovery is incredible. My muscles are bigger and stronger again, improved sleep, my skin, everything. So who doesn't want a little bit of that? You kind of say, okay, but check the boxes, right? Which one of those do I want? I want every single one of those, especially as I'm aging. And then this really was incredible. The first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset to a younger state. So your whole human genome is reverse aging. All right. And that's within the first few days. So some people notice that right away. Brain becomes balanced within 6 weeks. I noticed that the first day, 6 hours of wearing the patch, my brain, I had like complete mental clarity. And I felt like somebody gave me Windex for my brain. And then after 3 months, he noticed first, he said, your fine lines are going away. And then within 6 months, the heart reverses in age. And David Schmidt, the owner inventor that Rich is going to talk about next, he talks about, he calls it age reversal. It's not anti-aging. It's truly age reversal. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it to Rich.
Sure thing. No, appreciate it, Mia. And it's great summary with the testimonials.
Yeah.
We saw the testimonials first. And first of all, we'll have to tell everyone, that we were super skeptical. because we know in this digital age, you can go take a picture and make it look as good as you want to make it look it with digital editing. Let's be real about that. And
Mhm.
even when we started 2 years ago, AI wasn't even as far along, but we just know that I don't believe anything if I see just the image. We're paid to be skeptics. So we dug into it. What we did is we found the science behind it because we saw those testimonials. We're like, okay, tell me why now. Tell me why is that happening? Well,
Mhm.
we found David Schmidt, and he'd been specializing in age reversal for years, but in '08 he focused his attention into stem cells. I knew a little bit about stem cells from some travel internationally. There's more discussion of that internationally,
Mhm.
and came back and then the timing of it, where Andy and our friend Andy introduced, he said he had a shoulder issue, and so I did a little bit of research on it to see his turnaround and what the result was. And what I found, it was a lot of the same research that David had done
Yeah.
into the stem cell marketplace. Now, what he did is 10 years ago started about 10 years ago developing the stem cell aspect of the X39 patch. Spent 4.5 million and created the X39 package to really take things to the next level. So that's just a little bit of the history, going from that initial aspect where he started with the energy enhancer. That was the first patch. And this is all we're talking about other patches, but just to give a little bit of history, this was the first one. He had developed this technology with phototherapy patch to put it on your skin. Put that patch on your skin, as Mia said, and again for the newbies, it reflects my heat and light back into the patch, and it reflects it back into my system at a wavelength. And that wavelength will do certain things within the body. It will
Mhm.
stimulate the body in certain ways, just like the sunlight stimulates our body to produce vitamin D. We don't get vitamin D from the sun, it stimulates the production. We don't get a tan from the sun, but it stimulates melanin within
Mhm.
our skin to make us tan. So to put that in a nutshell, we saw that he had this technology that he had been using. And as you can see, I went and did this research. Who's been using it for years? We saw that professional athletes were using the technology in the form of the energy enhancer. We come from a performance coaching field, and this really got our attention. And we started to dig more and more into it and find out, wait a sec, this has been around for 20 years.
Yeah.
Not only has it been around, but it's patented technology, which was really important, that we wanted to be able to find out, okay, are there a million other of these out there, or is this the only one that's doing it from a phototherapy? Now, it's in the same line as like red light therapy. You see the masks that people use, you see the
Mhm.
saunas. So we started to say, wait a sec, this is in that red light or near red light, infrared light type of field, which creates, just jot this down. Phototherapy is what we call cell signaling technology. It's signaling our cells to respond. Now, there are peptides that you've seen, like GLP, see things out there
GLP-1, yeah.
where
Mhm.
people inject that. We don't have to inject this. We're creating our own, right? We're not ingesting it and hoping that our gut flora and the acidity of our stomach is not going to kill it, which it generally does kill when we ingest. It's a fine line to have it make it through the digestive system, because it doesn't matter what we take. It's a matter, what's the term? Write this down. Bioavailability. What's available for our body to use. Can you go back one more?
Mhm.
So when we understand from this patented technology standpoint that we're in the marketplace, and we're in a lane that you're not going to get confused as a consumer, because we're talking about patch product use today. So you're not going to get confused as this is the phototherapy lane that we're in. Okay, you can switch it. You move to the next one,
Okay.
and
Did I forget
and
to hit record?
and so, I don't know. Did you hit record?
No, it is.
It is. So what we're talking about today is the X39, because remember, he started with this energy enhancer technology, but he wanted to create these wavelength, or create an impact to elevate something called GHKCU. Okay, GHKCU. Now, there are peptides, what I started to say, there are peptides that will curb your appetite. There are peptides, collagen peptide, that will help with your reducing fine lines and wrinkles. And there's a peptide called GHKCU that activates stem cell activity. Stem cell activity is the key. That's the mother cell of the body. It's the core cell of the body. And as Mia spoke about in the beginning, that We don't treat, cure, mitigate, or diagnose any disease because this is a wellness product. A medical product, a medical device treats, cures, and mitigates disease.
And diagnosis.
And diagnoses disease. So this is in that wellness space. So what is in the wellness space? What do we look at? Supports the flow of natural energy in our body, supports whole body wellness versus illness and disease, right? Healthy universal cells. Those are we're talking about those core cells, and I'm going to touch base on core, and it leads cells to behave younger and act younger. Because what we're talking about, one of the big things with a wellness device is something called vitality, that we improve our vitality. Now think about what vitality, what are our vital signs? Okay, this is what it's helping with our
vital organs.
Our vitality. Our temperature is one of our vital signs. Our pulse rate, what's that? That's our cardiovascular system. Our respiratory system, our lungs, tied into our cardiovascular system. Our blood pressure, how our fine blood vessels are functioning, and our blood vessels are functioning to relate to how our blood pressure is either good or bad. And we see changes in all these in this vitality world, which is why after 35 years in the industry, we're so excited about it.
Yeah.
Because we know, and we're going to get into the slide, where as we age, these peptides and cell activity diminishes. Okay. Now what we're doing is enhancing that without a needle, a drug, or a surgery. Yeah. We're enhancing our own. We're not trying to ingest it and hope for the best. We're elevating it, and I'm going to touch base a little on the clinical. So I just want to lay the foundation of how this works. This video really does a good job. And the key, we worked with the director of marketing on this. When they brought this out, we're like, we need to talk about GHKCU. This is this copper peptide. And so this video does a really good job. It's a great one that you can use.
It's just a 28-second video.
We edited this out.
And just the way Rich because he just explained basically when he put the patch on his arm, how it worked, but you're going to hear it again.
Yeah, which sometimes it takes.
Here's how the technology works. First, a patch is applied to specific points on the body. Where the patch covers the skin, infrared light emitted from the body is reflected back into the tissue. This stimulates the skin, which in turn stimulates specific regions of the brain. The brain then taps into the body's own natural flow of energy and the ability to heal itself.
And I'm not sure if you heard that, so I'm going to play it again because I might have not had the volume on in the beginning, so I'm going to play it one more time.
Here's how the technology works. First, a patch is applied to specific points on the body. Where the patch covers the skin, infrared light emitted from the body is reflected back into the tissue. This stimulates the skin, which in turn stimulates specific regions of the brain. The brain then taps into the body's own natural flow of energy and the ability to heal itself.
All right, so I wanted to share that with you again because I didn't think I had the volume on, but how simple is that? And that's that we loved about it in the beginning, is because we came from like the supplement world, and having clients take supplements for different things of the body. All we have to do is, like I said, this is where I wear mine. All we have to do is put it on like a Band-Aid. It's so simple, so easy to share with people.
And the other thing, the aspect is that there's, as you can see on that, there's no drugs or chemicals or injection. Nothing's entering our body. So again, there may be some folks who have experience with the patches here, but you're going to share this and communicate, and this is going to have legs in a video format. So just so you know that there's nothing entering the body. It's non-transdermal. And again, we're always going to encourage, reach to the person that invited you to watch this video or this segment or this clip, and you can get more in detail or have more questions answered. So, what we're talking about now is, how that works and then how to use it. So it's really simple. 12 hours on, 12 hours off. Put a new patch on every day. Stay well hydrated, because jot this down. We're dealing with what's called the body's bioelectrical system, the electrical system of the body. And you've heard the term electrolytes. So it all works together with our electrical system. We want to make sure we have electrolytes in there. We're hydrated, and we're just going to get the most effect from that. So stay well hydrated. It's as simple as that. And you can put it on either the back of the neck or 2 inches below the belly button, 3 inches below the belly button, which is what
patch the pain.
You can put it anywhere. The clinicals initially use that. I'm going to touch base on the clinical aspect, but the clinicals use that just to be consistent, requires that in any kind of a test, and it just moves the body forward and really helps support the cell activity, these core cells. So now with that, we have the patch. Okay, so we know that the patch elevates GHKCU. It's elevating that. Now, A 25-year-old person whose GHK is not as low, they may not notice it as much, but it's still elevating, it's still benefiting it. And they may not see that as much. They're probably going to see it in sleep performance and mental focus,
Sure.
right? Now, as we get older, though, that cell activity is diminished. And so folks who are a bit older are going to see that. And so we can enhance that with something called Cellergize. They just released this product. So X39, we want to touch base today, X39 and Cellergize, because we know X39 elevates that GHKCU, copper peptide. And let me just say it again. What does copper do in the household? It's where the electricity runs through. It conducts electricity. We elevate our copper levels within the body. Our body's functioning at a higher level from an energy standpoint, moving through the body. So just know there's no other product like Cellergize out there. And there's a note, I'm going to get into the ingredients a little bit, but clinically proven to produce younger, healthier stem cells, this Cellergize. We have that data on that, on the ingredients I'm going to touch base on, because the FDA recognizes that it's a compliant wellness product. We're not trying to cure a disease, but with the non-transdermal patch, the combination of that is going to enhance what we're doing. As you can see on the left, Cellergize works synergistically with X39, works together to support healthy stem cell activity. When we heard about the release of Cellergize, that blew my mind, because now I can talk about healthy stem cells. This is a space that we want to be in. We're super happy. And we knew we were early adopters into that. So when we talk about early adopter into the Cellergize world, remember, designed to support health and vitality. Remember the vitals of your own body and stem cells. So a little bit on key ingredients. You can take a screenshot, but the granddaddy, just like GHKCU is the granddaddy, grandmommy of peptides, because it ties into the core healing cells of the body called stem cells. Sea buckthorn fruit is the winner here, because that's been clinically proven. Listen, these little fruit, this grows up in the high in the mountains where it's totally adverse circumstances. So what happens is these fruit, like blueberries, they form adaptive mechanisms within that. Then we eat that and it helps with us. If you've ever studied telomeres, if you've ever studied anti-aging, then this is in that same line of that. Also, we have glycine, lysine, copper, potassium, magnesium, NAC, and beta-alanine. It's a great combination. To summarize it all, on the left side, designed to support the health and vitality of your own stem cells. Welcome to 2025. Welcome to a wellness revolution, and we're in the middle of it right now. Now, as I said, you know that there's certain people who are within this target market. We know as people have diminished in the diminished stem cell activity, that they're going to certainly see a greater result, right? And so that's where we want to help as many people as we can. So we can plug through now. How do we help people? We certainly educate. We have webinars, Zooms, things like this. But we also, one of the first steps that we do, so if anyone needs help, is we love these websites, patchedu.com, really good website. Definitely, I would say it has a little bit more of a science side to it.
Science side.
But whoever it's going to relate to, you could use that, or you can use thisisitinfo.com. And they both include the patents, the studies, and testimonials.
Everything.
And so you can pull from that. It's really a great first step as we go through something in general, introducing to people in the health space. We just want to make sure we're educating in the beginning, and then people are like, oh, wait a second, now I'm learning about stem cells and how I need to do that, whether it's nutrition or whatever we're helping people with.
Absolutely.
Can I touch base on that real quick?
Yeah. No, you can't.
I can't. Okay. All right, and then I'll throw it to me. Super critical step to have this evaluation in the beginning, just a personal evaluation, get the baseline. Like in our 35 years in the wellness space, one of the first things we did when we take a new client on is we measure their vitals, heart rate, blood pressure, et cetera. But we also do flexibility and body fat and circumference measurements and all that type of stuff. You need to get a baseline established. So whether it's for you or for anyone else, because people aren't always aware of their body, but this is a really good list to go through and just rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. And then when you go through using the patch, we recommend a 90-day cycle for people, just because to let the cellular activity occur. You know, if your plant in the corner of the living room is dry and you water it 3 days in a row, guess what? It's not affecting the leaves yet. What's it going to do? Through the stem and the core. What are we talking about? Stem cells. It goes through the stem of that plant and then it gets out excuse me, into the leaves. So know that we want a 30, 60, 90 day type of a program here. If you're looking at this for the first time, considering this, based on age certainly matters, because we recommend 30 days of X39 for every 10 years of life. Because remember, Mia said it, we're changing at the cellular level. This isn't like a drug, a needle, or injection. All my wellness professionals in the field remind me, Rich, remember that this is going to be a slower process for people. It's not a drug.
Yeah.
It's not a drug. So I'm going to leave it at that, Mia. Please touch on this, but this is a crucial first step.
Yeah, and this is something that, a lot of people that I have brought on in this last 2.5 years in regards to, my customers, I'm like, we need to fill this out. They're like, oh, I don't need to fill that out. I'm like, you need to fill it out. We go step by step and we fill it out. You'll be glad you did, because there's a lot of stuff on here too, that even for the one that I did for myself, I couldn't pour a pitcher of water. I could not pull up the sheets in my bed. I couldn't lay on my right side. So I wrote all of that stuff down. Now I can do all that. And not that I wouldn't have remembered, because it was pretty miserable, because my shoulder was in such pain, but be sure you do this, because sometimes people we call them one patch wonders. We have some people who are very fast responders and some people who are very slow responders. And we just never know who it is, what's going on in their body, because they could put the patch on thinking it's going to help their neck pain or their back pain. And all of a sudden, they realize that it's doing something else. It's going somewhere else in their body.
So let me just say this real quick, because this is super important. Remember, talked about vital signs and vitality. As we age, as we're in those final stages, we know we've been around that. If anyone's been around it, what happens is body function shuts down, but the organs are the last thing so that's the most vital. So what these patches with X39 is going to do, it's going to go in initially and help correct and regenerate the most vital parts of your body.
The most inflamed.
Most likely it's hitting on those organs. So this is why sometimes, I want my wrinkles to go away. And in 30 days, you might not see the wrinkle, although you do see that. But it's probably going into the organs and the most vital things. Remember, we talked about cardiovascular system, the things that are tied into the heart,
people have
the lungs,
also autoimmune. Same thing. Inflammation. It's going to attack the inflammation first.
What's most vital
to your body,
and it's going to want to do that. So just something to keep in mind. And we're going to wrap up here in just a couple minutes, and then we're going to open up to Q&A here. And Mia, I think you want to touch base. From you have this information as far as what it does and how it does, but then just basically how people get started is super critical.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is what we do. We always tell our clients and our customers, first of all, for you tonight, you just contact the person who invited you to this call tonight. Contact them. They'll help you get started on it. But we always recommend preferred customer or PC plus. And preferred customer, the beautiful part about it is if you're going to buy retail, and I'm going to put my cursor down here, you're going to pay $149. I'm like, why would you when you can get a discount? All you have to do is sign up for a subscribe and save. And this is something I tell my clients all the time. PC Plus program is one of my favorite programs because you have a 90-day money-back guarantee. So what I tell them is, why don't we purchase up front 3 sleeves of X39, so you have a 90-day money-back guarantee on that first order. You can try those patches for 90 days. So anybody on here tonight, and then if you're going to share it with somebody, just know that because if you buy 1 sleeve of patches, you have a 90-day money-back guarantee on this 1 sleeve. But if you buy 3 at once, you have a 90-day, you could try them up to 89 days. And if you don't feel something or you don't like it or whatever, you can get your money back. So you get some loyalty samples along the way, just for signing up for Subscribe and Save. So you're saving $50, 30% off the retail price.
I think you said PC Plus, but just clarify.
I'm sorry.
Plus from
I'm sorry. The PC program is there. There's no cost to it. So you just sign up for Subscribe and Save, and you get them for $99 a month. And then the PC Plus, I do love as well. You're going to pay $19.95 a year to have that preferred customer account. Same thing, $99 with your Subscribe and Save. But the beautiful part is you get 10 patches, those, the patches that we were talking about, those support patches, you get 10 of those a month for the first 5 months. And then on the 6th month, you can choose a sleeve of any of the support patches you want. They're going to send you that for free just for being a loyal customer. And then you'll have a share link that you can share with people, and you can get product credit to be able to. So if you share it with 3 people, you basically share it with 3 and you get yours for free. So I hope that makes sense. And then we say, just get started and track the results on that wellness wellness tracker. The person who invited you can help you with that wellness tracker to make sure you fill it out from start to finish, because it's really important for before and afters. We are all about results. We've been in the results industry. Again, we don't even say we're in the fitness industry. We're in the results business because we're personal trainers and we get results for people. And that's what we want here. We want people to get results. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and stop share and then open it up for questions. But
before we do,
yeah,
thank you for joining us for this. And if you're watching this in a recorded version, reach out to the person that sent you this, and they'd be glad to answer any questions. If we sent you this, reach out to us and we'll follow up. And so thank you again for joining, but please stick around because we're going to do a Q&A for those who are live with us.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the recording and then go into the Q&A. All right, so let me go ahead and here. So thank you again for joining us.